guys, it's Mary.
And Amma.
Be much to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment
down below because today we are going to be reviewing Lockup. Oh my goodness, you guys, it has been quite a bit. I don't know who to start with first. I think we're just going to go ahead and talk about the couples individually instead of going back and forth. So I think we're just going to go ahead and talk about Dante. He says that he is upset and he is frustrated that, he said he's tired of getting made looking like a joke in front of the world. And that he is done with love and that it's not for him. Convicts are not for you, Dante. Let's be very clear. Because if you met a woman who just worked a regular 9 to 5, has something going for herself.
Girl that you met, and they were doing the little boat that went like this. Yeah. And she liked him. She liked his quirkiness and whatever.
But you know why I think he said that?
He didn't like the convict. He doesn't like. He likes crazy. Remember, he said so. This season.
Well, you know why I think he said love does not work for him anymore? Because I feel like he in his mind knows that he will never go with anybody who is not what he has dated before. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's trying to say that he's done with that, but he doesn't see himself getting with anybody else because that's what he prefers.
The convict.
Yeah.
I think, you know what it is?
That's what I think it is.
That he wants a woman who needs him.
There's plenty of women who need you who are not convicts.
There are a lot of women out there who need you, but if you show them that they can count on you to be a support to them, you will see their need. You will see their vulnerability. So why don't you try dating someone
who's not a convict?
Is not a convict like that, where you can't really assess, because when they're in prison, that's all they have time to do.
And it's not like you don't know this, but you keep on going there.
I know, when they come out, they got friends, they have family. Like, they have other things that they want to do, and sometimes they get back into whatever life that they were in that took them to prison.
Right.
It's very hard for them to just kind of stay away from that. Yeah. Because when they come out, it's hard for them to find jobs. Because of their ex-convict status. And so the guys who they were hanging out with that brought them to jail in the first place, they're always lurking around when the person comes out.
Of course.
And regular people who've never been to jail don't really know that, they don't know the struggles like someone else. So sometimes when someone comes out and they're among their family and nobody in their family has been to jail or friends haven't been to jail, right? It's so easy for them to get back into that lifestyle. Start rolling back with that crew.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, you, Dante, you're putting yourself at risk.
Yeah.
Also. Like, I'm happy, though, you didn't get into a fight with Blaine. At least you had sense not to do that. Thank God the friend he had told him something. Thank God you didn't do that. The friend he had on the phone. What do you want to say? You want to say something?
I'm not going to say what's on my mind.
you think the friend punked him out?
It just didn't seem like, I don't know, he would just sit in the car for a while. It seemed like he really did not want to stand up to him or whatever.
No,
I didn't really know that was
in the car. I think, the guy...
No, he was like, man, I don't even want to talk about man. Like, it's like he was like barking so much at Lindsay that when the guy came, it was like he didn't want to say nothing.
No, because first of all...
I don't know, that seems odd to me.
When Blaine, think about it, when Blaine left Lindsay over there by his car, right, he walked away kind of like this. However, when he also got to near Dante by the door, he wasn't doing all that. He was like, hey man, what's up? His voice had gotten down. It wasn't like he was getting ready to fight.
Yeah.
So I think Dante was like, maybe he thought that the guy's like, hey, what's going on? Because after all, Lindsay, introduced him as a friend or whatever. Or Lindsay told him, right, this past time, Lindsay said to him, well, now that I'm not going to be with you, I'm going to go for Blaine.
Well, he didn't say that because Dante went up to her and he was like, I just want to know, have you been with Blaine this whole time? And she said yes. But then she said no. No, she said yes. She said, yes, I am now or whatever.
She said, yes, I am now.
Well, I don't know if he heard.
All over. She was like, yes, I am now. he understood that because he told Blaine, he's like, okay, she want to be with you, fine. Okay, but guess what? As soon as she gets with somebody, she might dump you. Like he was.
Well, he said she was going to sleep with the next mother effer, I think, or something he said,
and then dump you. You know what I'm saying? So I think he understood
I personally feel like
that she was now going to go to Blaine.
Yeah, but I personally feel like they've been together this whole time. Like, y'all are sharing his and her sink. You don't want to do that with someone that you're seeing.
I feel like now they're actually going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, not just
sleeping together.
Right. I think they. You know what I think?
I think they've been sleeping together.
I don't think that they slept together though when she came out of prison. I don't think so. But I think that she has slept with Blaine before. But I don't think she slept with Blaine since she got out of prison. I don't think she has done that yet. Like when she first got with Dante. Remember when Dante went to pick her up at Blaine's house? Yeah. I didn't get the feeling that, because she was ready to have, like, the way she was acting. I don't feel like I thought it was very fake
the way she was acting, though. I wasn't really buying her whole, like, yes, I want to sleep with him or whatever. It just seemed kind of fake to me or whatever. Really? The way that she was saying it or stuff. Like, so I really didn't buy into that, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Blaine did not look to me like a guy who had slept with her the night before Dante came and picked her up. he did not. Because I feel like if he had slept with her, I don't think he would have been that willing for her to leave and go to Dante that next day. I don't think so. Now, since she came back to Mississippi, since she came back after she left Dante over there and came back to Mississippi, they probably have gotten it on since then. And since they have gotten it on, but she didn't know the feelings that he had attached to that. Yeah. But now that she did, at that little scene that the producers put for all of us, now that they did, and he has said, look, I want to, I like you. Not just as, like, love makers, but I really like you, right? So now she understands that, and she's ready to break up with Dante. She was trying to do it in a nice way. Yeah. I felt. Dante, he really couldn't take that rejection.
Well, I feel like one, Dante kind of knew the signs were there that it was going to be over.
It was going to happen.
Because she wasn't talking to him.
So
he wasn't calling him.
That's why he was getting upset, I guess.
And then I guess he was hoping, because he brought all those letters and stuff like that, he was hoping that he could rope her back in or whatever.
Remind her.
My whole thing with their relationship, I don't know. I feel like maybe Lindsay had a plan to scam him.
I think so.
I do. But I'm pretty sure she had watched his season from prison or whatever and saw that Nicole had not given him sex. So she's probably thinking, if I give him sex or whatever, I don't ask for any money, maybe at some point I can start the scam. I can get him to trust me or whatever and stuff like that. And then see what happens. I think maybe she had been talking to him or whatever, stuff like that. And then, like you said, she probably felt like, okay, this is actually a good person.
Yeah, he's a decent
I don't want to go there.
That. Yeah.
So then she decided, okay, I wasn't really into him anyway, so the scam can't go with this guy, so I have to go with somebody else. Yeah. It's over, we're done, or whatever. Because she really, I think she gave him a chance for maybe a week. Yeah. And I think that was it. I think she looked left, she looked right, she looked at his bad credit. It was a wrap. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was. But remember, she told Blade
she was asking him all about the credit and all that stuff.
Yes, she told Blade about the bad credit, like, his credit is worse than mine.
And I was in prison.
And so she...
And then also she's looking at him probably like, he doesn't make good financial decisions. So I feel like all of that kind of, kind of sealed the deal for her.
She figured, this is another one to scam. I need someone with really good credit. Yeah. Or maybe she wants to take a really huge loan. Probably go to some island somewhere.
Or whatever. I don't know what she does. But I just feel like Dante, if you want to stop being embarrassed, stop going for these women. But do I think he's going to learn his lesson? No. I know you're saying, oh, when he was walking away. I was like, I can't feel sorry for him. Because you keep doing this. This is your third convict. At some point in your grown man life, you have got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I have to choose what's best for me. But you know what I think? I don't think he loves himself. Because if you don't love you, because if you love yourself, you're not putting yourself in situations. If you love
Yeah.
yourself, you don't go and do things that will hurt you eventually. You actually put yourself first when you love yourself. Yeah. And I don't think he does. I think that's the issue.
And he's used to having women that reject him in the end. So yeah, that low self-esteem too.
He needs therapy. I think he needs therapy.
Like a history. You know, sometimes when you keep on going to the same person, the same kind of people.
Yeah.
It's just a different face.
Yeah.
Because that's where you are comfortable, even when it's abusive. But that's what you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
It takes courage to go out of your norm and go and be with somebody that is not your regular person.
Yeah.
You know, but I'd rather someone do it after therapy. Go to a different person after therapy. Yeah. After you've figured yourself out. Because if not, you're going to drive that person crazy, especially if they got their shit together.
Yeah, I feel like Dante, I don't want to see you next season. I want to see you in proactive therapy.
Yes.
So, please.
If we see you next season,
we know
about you going to therapy.
Yes. But I'm sure they wouldn't want to put that on the show. Well, I mean, I think that would be nice, though.
People will watch it.
I think it would be nice.
People will watch it. People will love to see Dante going
to
therapy.
And get himself together.
Probably have your mom go into therapy, too, with you, right?
That'd be
and
good.
Figure out all your different things. Maybe the friend will go into to help you out.
Yeah.
You know, that would be nice. Yeah. That would be very nice. I will watch that to see his growth and stuff like that.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and talk.
Like, you know who else I was thinking about when we talked about, like, a different person? And maybe we'll talk about them next. Chaz and Branwyn. Branwyn came out wanting to have a different kind of life.
But she had this nasty pervert who was, like, messing with her. Like, he was giving her anxiety. He was an asshole. Yes. And he is a freak.
She realized that.
Like, not in a good way.
Yeah. She realized, oh man, he may have some.
He might be a different guy, but you can literally have the same person in a different guy. Like the man is sick.
So to that her friend.
Well, her ex.
Yeah, her ex. Like, you know.
But I think Chaz, he is nasty. I think he is weird. I also think that he has something mentally wrong with him because he was a serious jackal, Mr. Hyde. He threw down the roses, then he threw down the ring, and then he was smoking like a chain smoker, and then he was acting all weird, stalking her, and then trying to call her a slut, and like all that stuff. Yeah. You would have never thought from that short man who goes like, you would have never expected that behavior from him.
The pretense of the nice guy.
Yes.
But still an asshole.
But we say here on the show, usually the nice guys are the worst ones. Yeah. The ones who preach or try to put on the facade of their nice. Way
to try to look like nice guys. Please.
Yeah. Instead of them just genuinely being awful. A good person. Yeah. So, yeah, I just felt like the whole thing was a mess or whatever. Apparently, he went and he tried to, he went to try to go and contact her through her ad to see if it was still proactive or whatever. I don't really know what happened with that or whatever, but he said, apparently, he had found some information. Somebody had did a review and said that, basically trying to say that, I spent some time with Tara and Branwyn or whatever. Mm-hmm. These two were awesome, whatever. What a good time, da-da-da. And then, we kind of see that downstairs or whatever. It kind of like was the scene of what the guy was describing.
Like madame, like inside. So, maybe this is Tara is the madame.
Yeah, and then
prostitutes, and she is trying to get Branwyn back in. The way Tara was grinning, I felt like Branwyn has got back into.
Yeah, and then even Branwyn said something very odd. She's like, would you just not love me even if I was a prostitute? Like, there are women out here who prostitute, but men still love them. I said, what?
I have a lot of respect for them and stuff like that. And then when she and Tara were looking at each other through the mirror. Yeah. And I think, did someone say so to
that the Chaz? Mirror was awesome for angles or whatever when we got into it or whatever. Mm-hmm.
So I think, and then they both looked at each other like through the mirror, some weird stuff. Yeah. I felt like Branwyn now. That's why Tara was smiling so much and saying.
And she's like, you need to get underneath somebody new.
And, let us excuse you so that, because they have been wanting to rope Branwyn in since she got out of jail.
It's just so hard.
You know what I'm saying? Hard. They've been wanting to rope her in since she got out of jail. Yeah. That's what they have been trying to do. And maybe all that school that she says she's doing, maybe she was actually going, and and maybe that's why she finally gave in to Chaz. Remember, she said she has never had sex without being high. Maybe that's why she finally gave in to him, because she was
using.
Because I think she got back to using, and back to her whole life.
Because she looked very odd when she was trying. She's like, okay, bye. I was like,
yeah.
I thought it was very odd. Yeah. And even the cameraman was like, should we leave yet or not? So I think that's why. Because I feel like,
so.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, she was like, okay,
she definitely looks like somebody who gets high. It could just be weed or whatever. I don't know. But she does look like
with all kinds of things. Weed is not weed anymore. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah.
There have been too many people who have ended up in the hospital from smoking weed. Yeah. In the past couple of years that I have known, and that has never happened before. But now it happens. Getting clots and pulmonary embolisms and all kinds of things going on.
Yeah.
And I think that's because it's laced with other things.
Yeah,
now that the government has
I make it legal so they can make money off of it.
Now their thing is to make money, a whole bunch of billions of dollars off of it. And what do? You mix it up with some other things so that you can make more of it. So
just like with the fruits in America.
So that's
and the chicken,
like the GMO and all that stuff. So that's what's going on now. And so the stuff is laced with stuff. It is what it is.
Small baby at the front of the motorcycle. The faith here in Africa. Serious. But yes, so that's what I think's going on. Do I think
Chaz is back? I don't
know why she's dating.
Bradwin is back
to her old things.
Her whole
Because she just doesn't look well.
What has she been doing to make money?
I don't know.
She says she's in school.
And she said, and then she also said something else. She said, and also, YOLO, he's not going to ask me, how do I get my money?
Yeah, he's fine.
I thought that was very
suspect.
He's
fine with this. And so when YOLO told her now, we need to be back together or whatever, and I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. What did he say? You can prostitute. I don't mind. We can still be, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty much odd. That's pretty much what he was saying. Now, Brandwin, you're back in this life. That's what it looks like. And you're going to end up back in jail.
Yeah.
Because you're still on parole.
Yeah.
You're going to get and end up right back in jail again.
Yeah.
And that'll be a shame.
Yeah. Let's talk about Puppy and Amber. Basically, they were not talking whatever. She tried to choke a pregnant woman, which I thought was foul. Yeah. I thought that was foul as hell. Yeah. But Puppy ended up calling her or whatever. She really needed her. TC was like, I'm getting tired of this drama, whatever, but you go because it seems like it's something serious. Comes to find out, Puppy, she actually lost the baby. She miscarried.
She looks weird, though. That whole thing that she was doing with Amber, to me, something was not right. She said she went to the abortion clinic. And
she said she was considering going there because...
She went there.
Yeah, she went there. But then she
decided not to, and then she miscarried. And she thinks she's being punished. But I'm looking at Puppy, and she don't look... There's no tears coming down her face. Remember, she called Amber crying.
You know what's making sense?
What?
Because why would you feel guilty if you miscarried? I feel like,
she said she feels like she's being punished. And let me tell you something.
A lot of women feel that way.
Yeah, she said that she's feeling punished, but there were no tears. You understand what I'm saying?
I think
there were no tears.
I don't want to accuse her or nothing, because it's something wrong if you go and get an abortion. Nobody, I feel like you have to do what's best for yourself or whatever, if that's what you choose or whatever, Yeah. I mean, if you actually can go ahead and
my story. I had an abortion.
Well, you
when
never
I was
told
younger.
them. You told
me. I've told you, but I'm telling them because these things happen. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not for an abortion, but I had an abortion. I actually did. when I was younger. I must have been maybe like in my early 20s. So it was like 20. I want to say maybe 20, 21. I think I was 20. Anyway, it was either 20 or 21. And I had an abortion. And when I finally got married, I got married at 24. And, after the abortion, I kind of, just kind of started to clean my life up, tried to start going closer to God and stuff like that, and all that. Started to cover up. Like, I just got closer to God, started to get back to, my religion, started to get back to Islam, and started to cover up, as I was getting closer to God, was celibate for a while. Like, I just stayed away from, any kind of sexual thing or anything like that. And then I got married, met my husband. I think I talked about that already here on the show. It was like an arranged marriage and met him. But, I liked how, we kind of liked each other. But, anywho, when we were together, after a couple of years of being together and trying for a child, I finally got married. I finally got pregnant after 2 years. But then I lost the baby. Like, I had a miscarriage. And I was devastated. Somebody who has had an abortion before regretted it. Because every year, I will say until that baby would have been like 16, up until my mid-30s, every year around that time that I had the abortion, I will think of this baby that I aborted. And I will imagine this baby like is this age. And I will mourn about it. And I felt as though like I wasn't forgiven for that. Like I said, I kept on feeling guilty. And really I realized later on it's because I hadn't forgiven myself. So I was like projecting on God that God hadn't forgiven me. But I hadn't forgiven myself. But I remembered when I miscarried with my husband, her dad, my ex-husband now. But when I miscarried, I was devastated. I thought that God had not forgiven me. And this was my punishment.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you feel that something is your punishment, there will be serious tears. Like serious tears. And I remember I was telling my ex at the time, like,
well, I thought
I had an abortion.
Drunk.
That's when I told him, I said, I had an abortion. I think that God is not forgiving me. That's why I had this miscarriage. And he was like, God doesn't do stuff like that. That's not why you miscarry. You miscarry because your body just miscarried. But I still didn't really believe it until maybe like years later. I was in my mid-30s. I finally started to get clarity and realize that. But, so that's why, and everybody deals with things in a different way. Maybe this is a way of dealing with stuff and just being like, but to me, it just didn't seem to me like she was present. It really didn't seem that way to me.
Okay, well, this is my thing. One, I feel like maybe, not accusing her nothing. If that's what she did, then that's your business.
Either she did an abortion.
I think she did. Maybe she did.
But I don't think so. I think she was liking the pregnancy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But you know what I actually think? I don't think she had an abortion. I think this girl is doing drugs. Well, I think she did drugs and then miscarried.
I honestly think that...
And she did some more drugs. That's why she looks numb. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. I feel like she is doing drugs.
Or you just say that?
No, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
But I do think that she was drunk, and I do think that she started doing drugs again. That's what I honestly think. That's why she wasn't crying. That's why she wasn't emotional.
Yeah, I think she did drugs and then miscarried the baby.
I thought she did it after. I didn't think she did it before.
You don't?
I don't think she did it before.
Okay.
God forbid she did it before. Maybe she was subconsciously trying to get rid of the baby.
Well,
I don't know. I don't want to accuse nobody of foul behavior.
Amber thing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Well, I'm sure after she miscarried, maybe she started smoking or drinking because there was a lot of shot glasses or whatever.
Yeah, because she just seemed...
And the house looked like a drug house for a second.
She just
was
seemed
very
out
odd.
of it completely. I said, there's more to this story than I went to abortion and then... Well, I went for an abortion but then didn't do it. Then I miscarried.
Yeah.
Because she called Amber, the way she called Amber, she was crying. When Amber get there, she ain't crying no more. Her eyes are dry. Remember when she called Amber, she was crying on the phone?
I think she was crying. She was upset. And then what?
That's that bug with the red. Oh.
Where the hell is the cane? I can't do this. I can't do this.
Here.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, we just have to get a spray. We have to keep a spray out here. There's
Come on,
nothing,
let go.
You need to go get the spray. You need to go get a spray. And you
Oh,
gotta come and
why
spray
you
this
patting my
one.
back?
Okay,
Yeah,
wait.
like that's what
Yeah.
Puppy was doing. I don't think that she was using before. I think she used after or whatever. I think
Yeah.
that she was in the
I
process
think
of
she
getting
was,
ready to use when Amber called. That's why she was sober and crying. Now she is
okay.
not. So it seemed like she had just gotten up from a slumber or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's talk about Kevin and Tiffany.
Oh, yeah.
Tiffany has not been contacting him for the past 3 days. He went to her job. She was not there.
Mm-hmm.
So he decides that he's going to go talk to his friend about her or whatever. He tells him about everything that Tiffany's been doing, but does not say that he has been out here dipping his weenie in anything that moves. So I thought that was very interesting. The friend said that you should drop Tiffany and go and be with Kayla because she's been there and all this stuff. You know, I don't think Kevin has respect for Kayla. He doesn't have respect for himself. I'm sure he likes the fact that Kayla is there or whatever. Yeah. I'm sure he does. But I don't think he's going to give her the opportunity to hurt him again. Yeah. That's just how men are. They're like elephants in that way. Yeah. But he decides to call her friend. Mm-hmm. He checks to see if she was in jail. She was not, of course. I didn't think she was in jail. Yeah. But he calls the friend to say, hey, look, let's meet up. I need to talk to you about some things.
It's back.
Okay, well, it smelled the spray and it went away. It actually went away.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, it did. So Kevin decides to meet up with the friend or whatever. She basically confronts him about the whole thing or whatever. And he was like, he was still very confused and very discombobulated about it or whatever. She was like, you don't think Kayla would have did that? And in the confessional, she said, I don't think so, but I wouldn't put it past her because she's probably trying to get rid of Tiffany.
Because there's nothing there, there's nothing there. And the producer says, do you think she deleted it? Then he's like,
well. And then it was like the dots started to connect for him. And then he was like, yeah, she probably did that to get rid of Tiffany. But then he was like, well, I don't care what she told you. She ain't done with me. She ain't done with me. Kevin?
That was before she knew what Kayla has done.
But he said he's going to try to talk his way out of it. You're having sex with Kayla. You just dropped me off from work and they're making out with her. She's there. All this stuff,
He has no conscience. He's just having sex with her regardless.
He does not care. And then you want Tiffany to sit around and stick around for that.
But you have feelings for Tiffany.
But my thing is, I feel like the reason why he's doing that and thinking that he can rope Tiffany back in, because you have decided to open yourself up to threesomes. And you have proven to him that you're going to do whatever to make him stay around or whatever. Mm-hmm. So he doesn't have respect for you. That's why he's still sleeping with Kayla.
Well, you know what he's going to try to do? Because Kayla had told him that...
Let's include Kate, let's include Tiffany or some nasty
So now he's going to tell Tiffany and say, well, she has said we can whatever.
Very odd. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, very, very odd.
Yeah, it is.
So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I think Tiffany should be done. I'm glad she stopped talking to him. Because usually when you're done with somebody, I don't need to let you know nothing. You are blocked on all social media, on all of my phones. Yeah. You will never hear from me again. Exactly. You'll never even see me in the grocery store. And if you say hi to me, I'll be walking around and I'll be acting like you have leprosy. Yeah. Do not come near me. Exactly. So I'm happy that it seemed like Tiffany's actually really done. But I don't like the fact that the friend went there. And if Tiffany gave her the okay to go see what he was talking about, then she's not over him.
She's not over him at all.
Yeah. So I feel like Kevin is a dust ball. Like, you're able to go live by yourself. Like, this man is a degenerate. Like, girl, please go focus on somebody else. Like, a man whose weenie is all over the place is not good for anybody. He's not even good for your own hygiene. Yeah. So, no. And then you have Kayla there who's all acting crazy over him. Girl, you better just cut your losses with that dust ball. He is shorts anyway. Yeah. It ain't no short kings over here. We don't represent that nation. So, yeah. That was Love at the Lockup, you guys. It's Mary.
And
you guys to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment
down below.